worst thing you can do is to take notes. Yes, you heard that right. We as professionals are already busy enough, but creating this wall of words will just add anxiety on top of our already overloaded workday. The worst part, it's not even helping you get things done quickly, but adds to your daily workload as you search for relevant information. I know, it's probably how you've been taking notes in your meetings. I've been there too, and trust me, it's not helping. It's actually the least effective way to retain and process information. But don't worry, I'm here to flip that script. Today, I show you why traditional note-taking fails in a busy work life and how visual notes, strategic capturing and modern tools can transform the way you remember and use information. Stick around, because these 7 secrets about note-taking are not just going to change your notes, they are going to change the way you think about information and productivity forever. Let's go.
Paperless movement, your productivity, your way.
Single source of truth. I've been working on several projects in parallel for more than a decade. It was messy, to say the least, in the beginning. Having just one notebook didn't do the trick, as having information about completely independent projects inside one book makes such ability impossible. Thanks to my handwriting and scribbles, I was able to have a slight idea where to find information I'd collected earlier. To improve things, I came up with the idea of the single source of truth. In simple terms, I wanted to know exactly the place, the single source I needed to look up to find the correct information I need. Hence, I started to carry around several paper notebooks, trying to split information as efficiently as possible. Later on, it was folders in my handwriting note-taking app on my iPad. Besides reducing weight, I now had the advantage that my handwriting became searchable. What a boost in efficiency this was, and the reason why I still don't get why tools like the Remarkable 2 don't provide a global search feature. With this context in mind, now you see why I think the Remarkable is just removing the weight of carrying around several paper notebooks. However, it does not have the advantage of giving me easy access to my information via search. Nor can I quickly open my relevant notes and switch through the pages as I would do using a paper notebook. Now I've stopped using handwriting apps completely and switched to typing text into my chosen PKM tools, Tana and Heptabase. The reason is that I'm a lot faster at typing than handwriting. The problem is the walls of text that take away the recognizable patterns to easily identify information later on. Here is where visual notes and databases come into play. Visual notes transform text-heavy notes into diagrams, flowcharts or mind maps for quicker comprehension and recall. In our ICOR methodology, we differentiate between deep thinking and shallow thinking. Hence, we are also using 2 tools to split the information and keep things easy to access. Remember the single source of truth concept here. So I'm using Tana to quickly capture any information that might be relevant in the future. This is the place where I store all the meeting notes, as it lets me easily connect the information to relevant content within my tool, like a person who is then on the person's database, for example. The moment I have to think deeply about a problem or want to establish a more complex solution, I go to my deep thinking tool. Usually it's Heptabase, as I have the power of whiteboards there, where I can easily lay out more complex information. Sometimes I also use Miro if it's something that needs to be established in a team and if I have a lot of external content I want to add to the board. Don't build a second brain. We've seen many professionals building up a second brain by simply outsourcing their brain storage and filling it up with anything they want to store. However, this way, you're simply building up another place to search for information like you would do on the web. With the downside that the information might no longer be relevant. At the Paperless Movement, we say instead of that, we have optimized our one brain with 2 parts, a physical and a digital part. The key is that the digital part is not seen as an external storage, but as a deeply integrated part of our overall brain functionality. Hence, we build our systems around workflows that work in the way our own brains work. This leads to a point where our system runs on autopilot and everything is based on common sense. No matter the information or action that comes up, we know where to place it or to find it nearly instantly the moment we need it. The differentiation between shallow and deep thinking tools is key here. as it helps avoid cluttering up the deep thinking system with irrelevant temporary information. In the past, I was at the point where I stopped taking notes completely, as I knew I needed to look up the relevant information later on anyway. And I was so slow trying to capture everything that I wasn't able to follow the meeting with all my attention. I found the sweet spot, which I call strategic note-taking, which is to focus on capturing decisions, actions needed, and key insights, rather than transcribing everything. Deep thinking. In our deep thinking system, we treat notes as an extension of your thinking by actively summarizing, questioning, and synthesizing information. Employ non-linear methods like mind mapping to visually connect related concepts and discussions. Shallow thinking. In our shallow thinking system, we use notes to balance cognitive load by capturing key points, helping maintain focus on, for example, the meeting's discussion. If anything relevant comes up that makes sense to place in our deep thinking system, we can calmly move things over when we are back at our desktop. This way, we improve the speed of taking notes when it's necessary, while reducing frustration about where to place the information in the best way possible. I know there are many things we have to urge to store somewhere. And inside video, article or post, this is where our third tool comes into play, the Read Later app. In our case, we are using Readwise's Read Later app. I've made a video explaining in more detail how we use these three tools, the Reader Read Later app, Tana and Heptabase, in combination, and how we funnel information through them. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check out the description below. Revisit and refine. Thanks to focusing on the collection of information that truly is relevant and splitting it up, this makes this step much easier. Revisit and refine your notes on a regular basis to keep them up to date and relevant, and to condense them into clearer, more actionable items. In ICOR, everything is about moving information into action. And to be efficient in taking action, the information needs to be as condensed and easy to understand as possible. We also try to store evergreen information rather than news that might change within 24 hours. Leverage digital tools. Utilize digital note-taking tools that support tagging, linking, and layering of information for better organization and retrieval. I've explained this in much more detail in another video in the description below. So if you want to see what tools work best to take efficient notes, then I highly recommend watching this video next. And if you're serious about building your productivity system end to end and learning how to focus on the things that matter rather than searching for information, then I highly recommend joining us inside the Paperless Movement membership, where you start your own ICOR journey, learning how to build your perfect note-taking and PKM system and then leveraging it to get things done. If you found this video insightful, make sure to share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss future videos helping you succeed in your busy work life.